Hello and welcome. Not forgiving someone is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Nelson Mandela. Hi, I'm Dr. Vanessa Boyce, founder of Mindful Next Chapters, where we strive to provide you with information and resources to ensure that your golden years are, in fact, golden. Not only that, we also provide what you need to prepare for your final chapters, ensuring your physical care needs are met and that this is a time of reconciliation, peace, and a celebration of life well lived. We at Mindful Next Chapters are well aware that caregivers in our society are underappreciated and undersupported, and we are trying hard to rectify this as well. If any of this information is something you are interested in, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel so that you will be alerted as we produce new content. With all that being said, let's jump into today's video. I believe that forgiveness benefits all ages, but it particularly benefits those of us who are creating our golden years. The most difficult end-of-life experiences that my patients and their families experience have to do with forgiveness. Often, there have been years and years of fractured relationships and only a short time to remedy them. Living in an unforgiving state leads to a lot of negative emotion and loss of relationships. The presence of negative emotions and loss of relationships has been shown to reduce your quality of life and has been demonstrated to shorten your life expectancy. When you have been wronged, it's difficult, to say the least, to want to forgive. In addition, most of us don't have a framework for the forgiveness process. Before we get into the process, I want to differentiate being victimized from being a victim. Being victimized is often out of our control. Being a victim is a choice. Victimization is defined as the act or process of singling someone out for a cruel or unfair treatment. It's important to note that true victimization involves the intent to harm. The majority of what we perceive as being victimized is actually someone unwittingly causing us harm. I have found that most of this unwitting harm comes when our loved one is going through emotional pain that results in unhealthy behaviors that lead to the harm. Being a victim is a role we play. This role can serve several purposes. 1. Being the victim protects you from the hard truth about your role in being victimized. 2. It supports a version of the event that supports your innocence. 3. The victim role gets you attention and support from others, often at the expense of the person you believe victimized you. 4. It can also be used to control the behaviors of the person who victimized you as a condition of your continued love and affection. The forgiveness process I have found to be most helpful to my patients and clients comes from Brene Brown's book, Rising Strong: The Reckoning, the Rumble, and the Revolution. This video is simply an introduction to her work. If you have serious forgiveness issues, I highly recommend reading this book and/or working with a therapist. While there are only 3 steps in this process, each step requires some serious introspection that likely will take some time on your part. Give yourself a big pat on the back for being here. You have the courage to consider forgiving yourself or someone who has wronged you. This is a big step. You may experience some uncomfortable thoughts and emotions. Be sure to be gentle with yourself. Don't hesitate to reach out to a friend or a counselor if needed. And journaling can also be a great way to process. Brene Brown calls the 3 steps in forgiveness the reckoning, the rumble, and the revolution. Let's explore the steps. The reckoning involves 1. Recognizing your emotions. Name them all. 2. Getting curious about the emotions to see how they are connected to the way you think and behave. I have some pointers I have found helpful that I want to put forward here. Some people prefer to deny being victimized. I get it. It protects you from facing difficult emotions, and it also allows you to avoid the work of reconciliation. This denial leads to even more emotional distress. It leads you to being in an inauthentic relationship with yourself and the person who harmed you. Your emotions are the key to the process. Recognize your emotions without judgment. And don't allow anyone you share your emotions with to minimize or challenge them. I find it helpful to use the following sentence starters when connecting the emotions to your thoughts and behaviors. When I feel this emotion, it makes me think these thoughts. And then I do this. Complete this process with each of the emotions that you have identified. The next step is the rumble. This has 2 steps in it. The first step is to get honest about the story you have made up in your mind about the situation. Use the sentences you completed in the previous step to jumpstart recognizing the stories you are telling yourself about the situation. Here are some pointers that I provide to my patients and clients at this stage. 1. Take each of those sentences you wrote down and add an "and then" sentence or sentences. This helps you to see all the layers within the story. Explore the stories. Where are you empowered in these stories, and where are you the victim? It may be helpful to create a title for each story you discover. The second stage of the rumble involves challenging the assumptions and confabulations that are in the stories. The goal here is to get to the more truthful version of the event. Once you have gotten to the truth, ask yourself, what do I have to do to live a wholehearted life? My pointers for this step are: 1. Explore how the stories you created protect you. Ask yourself, do the stories allow you to not take responsibility for your role in the situation? Do the stories empower you? 2. Put yourself in the shoes of the person who harmed you. What was going on in their life at the time? The last step is the revolution. This also has 2 steps. 1. Rewrite the story using the information you discovered in steps 1 and 2. Don't forget to name this new story. Identify how you will use this braver story to live, love, and bring your whole heart to the world. The beauty of forgiveness is that it helps you find resolution and peace. And it doesn't require you to interact at all with the person who harmed you. You will still get the benefit of the work that you put in. Depending on the situation, you may decide to have a conversation with that person, but it isn't necessary for you to come to your own resolution of the situation. So that's it for now. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments, and don't hesitate to leave a question in the comment section also. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless.